Good morning. I'm Marian LaSalle and my co-host Russ Johns. This is the Future Media Association Future Media TV show. And today we have Dr. Joe Vitale, one of my favorite people in the whole world. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to see you again. Great to see you both.
Yes. I love everything that you do. I'm sure you have things that I wouldn't love, but I don't know about them, so that's okay.
Well, how do you feel about cigar smoking? Maybe that's the only thing you don't like.
You know, I do. If you're going to put me in a room and everybody's smoking cigars, I'll probably sit outside and read, but that's okay.
That's okay. I'll give you a book to read.
There you go. You know, I've really gotten into audio. I love audio. So video and audio, I can take the audio out of the video and really listen to podcasts and things. So I think that that's the first thing I'd like to talk about is marketing through video and audio. So that's what we're doing here right now, today. And
yeah, you are, yes.
There's just so many things that are going through my head right now that I want to ask you. But I think the first thing we should do is find out what you're doing now. I know you've got an awakening course happening.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about that. So why don't you
tell us about that?
Well, take a deep breath because I've got a lot going on.
Okay.
I have a new book coming out as of today. It's called The Awakened Millionaire. And The Awakened Millionaire is a manifesto for what I'm calling the spiritual wealth movement. That book is going to Amazon today. It's arriving at my house today.
Yeah.
So it's in print. It's in print. It's for the Kindle reader. We have the audio version. I read the book, so we have the audio version. All of that's on Amazon right now. Meanwhile, I just opened up the Awakened Millionaire Challenge, where I'm challenging people to change their mindset and their relationship to money through a 7-day free course I'm giving. And you can put up the thing. I think it's awakenedmillionaireacademy.com, but you can send out the link or whatever you do here.
Yep, that's it. I've got it up already.
Meanwhile, now you asked me what I'm up to, so you have to brace yourself because there's several things. I don't do just one thing.
I know.
I do one thing at a time.
We're very familiar with that. So,
so the Awakened Millionaire book, the Awakened Millionaire Challenge. Then I am finishing a book called The Miracle. The Miracle is 6 Steps to Enlightenment. 6 Steps to Enlightenment. I'm finishing that book up right now. Then I've started another book in my spare time, which is about strongman training. Because I don't know if you know this, Marian, but I've been bending bolts, horseshoes, steel bars, chains, and I am so hooked on this. I mean, this is, that's a real bolt. That's a real bolt. I bent that. So
okay.
I'm learning
Okay, I have to stop you right there.
This is insane. This is insane.
Take it away, Russ.
Tell him, Marian.
Oh, no, you tell him. I'm going to find it.
Okay, so we got a call a little while ago, Doctor.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine said, "Hey, Russ, this event is being held on June 4th, and we feel that you're the perfect person, the team, and the organization that can help promote these individuals in this event." So on June 4th, we have, it's called Hot
Bods Fit Games.
Fit Games.
And it's bodybuilding.
I see Strongman listed.
Yeah,
That's
Strongman
right.
is listed.
That's
right.
right.
It's CrossFit.
Yep.
And it's also high school football combine.
The universe is talking to me. I got fit people all around me talking about fitness. I love it.
Yeah.
And now we have a strongman on the show. That's insane.
Well, that's amazing. And one of the world's most famous strongmen lives in Houston. That's Dennis Rogers. Dennis Rogers he's been on Oprah. Oprah called him the world's strongest man. He's a friend of mine. He's trained me personally. That's why I'm able to do these kind of things and bend horseshoes. So anyway, that's another book. Then, of course, I have music. I have 15 albums out now, 15 albums in the last few years. And my partner and my guitar teacher, Matthew Dixon, is on his way over here right now because we're working on another album. And so we'll be also creating that. And then he's filming me for some video. I'm also in about 15 movies. 3 more movies will be coming out. There's a movie about Zig Ziglar that I was just filmed for a couple of weeks ago. That'll be coming out later in this year. And I also have my own television show. I filmed.
What?
Yes.
What?
I filmed 14 episodes of the Joe Vitale television show, all 14 of an entire season. And Netflix and Amazon and some of the other networks are going into a bidding war to find out which one wants it so that they can air it on national and even global television.
Wow.
So that's some of what I'm doing, and that's some of what I can remember that I'm doing, because I do so many things that I often forget what I'm doing.
Well, I'm honored that you're taking time to be here today on the show and share some of this stuff, because it's really exciting for us, because, and you've probably seen this in music, and the opportunities right now to produce digital media, share it, and it's universal. You know, we all have the opportunity to create something and share a story and tell that story to, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of people, right?
Absolutely.
And you have proven this over and over again by the output that you've got on a regular basis. So can you walk us through a little bit about how do you produce so much, and how do you deliver these things in you know, you're doing a lot.
Right.
So kind of give us a clue as to how that happens and how you market that information.
Well, those are big questions, and that's at least two different categories.
I know. Too many questions.
No, they're great. They're
How
great.
do you do it?
Let me talk about the productivity first of all. It sounds like I have this overwhelmed life, an overwhelming life, and I must be a type A kind of character. Always busy and always driven. That's not the case at all. I am very focused. When I'm working on a project, it is usually the sole thing I'm working on at that time. Just like right now when I'm doing this interview, I'm not doing anything else. I am totally focused here and now. This is a secret to productivity, and this is a secret to spiritual enlightenment. Instead of being distracted and running around from this project to this project and chasing all the shiny lights, I want to stay. I saw your hand raised.
Yeah, that's me.
I want to stay focused. I remember one time I posted on Facebook and I said, well, I just completed my 15th album. I'm writing another singer-songwriter album. I'm finishing another book. I'm traveling to Kuwait to go speak. I'm going to go film all my TV shows. And this woman said, I want to see how many windows are open on your computer. How many tabs do you have? Because in her mind, she thought, oh, it just must be a mess of all these things. And here's the truth. There's never more than 3 tabs open at any one time. Never. I have iTunes open because I'm listening to music in the background. I have a word processing program open because that's generally where I'm doing my writing, whether it's a blog post or a book. And then I have the internet open because I'm doing research. That's it.
That's it.
And I move from project to project. Like today, I have several interviews today, but I'm going to go back to the Strongman book because it's currently the most passionate thing for me. And as I'm writing the Strongman book, I'm doing interviews like this and another one later to promote the new book, The Awakened Millionaire. So you can see there's a little bit of a juggle, but it's mostly scheduling. When I'm focused, I'm focused. And a little later, I will go out on my cigar deck and I will have a cigar and I will meditate with the squirrels and the deer and the birds and the trees. I will have this balance here. So when it comes to productivity, I think following your passion and being of singular focus are a couple keys. And then I just take action. I just keep doing it. As for the marketing question, that's a huge question there. I mean, I market in every way that you can. This is marketing right here. I'm using some of the new media. In fact, Marian, I've never done this with whatever this is called, Blab or something like that. I've never used the Blab platform before, but I know I got to be open-minded. I got to go with the flow. I got to use technology. I got to leverage it. And this is marketing. I'm marketing me. I'm marketing my music. I'm marketing my books. I'm marketing my strongman stuff. I'm marketing by doing this. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I have a Facebook personal page, a Facebook fan page, and I'm active in all of those. Why? They're relationship builders.
Yes.
Yes. People buy from people they know, they like, and they respect. How do they get to know me? Well, this is one way they can know me. Following what I'm doing on Facebook is another way they get to know me. And then, of course, I have my mailing list. And everybody needs to have their own mailing list. Your mailing list is your gold. That is your goal. You got to start, even if you're starting from zero and the first people on your mailing list are your parents and your brothers and sisters and your neighbors, you got to start there. And from there, you can build it, giving away free things, giving away content, having a website. I mean, I can go on and on with the marketing stuff because I have a marketing hat that I wear and I love it.
So being involved and just being present in the marketing process, I mean, it's really, at the end of the day, it's called engagement with your audience, right?
Right.
I mean, and from a musician, let's talk about the music side of the equation. You know, when you're performing in front of an audience as a musician, you learn to read the crowd and you learn to connect with that crowd. You learn to build that trust and that connection in the community. And it's no different on any other, whether it's a written word, whether it's images and artwork, or if it's audio, or if it's video. You know, you can develop that community around that subject every time. And so it's amazing. And
well, that's what Dr. Joe's all about. I've known him for years and years and years. And I'm telling you, from the second I met him, it was all about building that community, building the connection between every single audience member or every person that he's in front of. I remember doing an interview with you somewhere in the hill country, and you were completely focused on me. Not just on me, but on our relationship. You didn't let any distractions, come in your way. You were focused, and you walk into the room and everybody feels that. So
Thank you.
Where does that come from? Is that learned? Is that your personality? How did you get that magnetism?
Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. It's a great compliment. Thank you.
It's true. I notice it.
It's a curious question. It had to be learned because I didn't always have that. I would think there's a combination of things going on. One is I'm a very spiritual person, and even the new book, The Awakened Millionaire, and the subtitle about a manifesto for spiritual wealth kind of tips the hand in telling you that spirituality is important to me. Well, the big message of spirituality is that the miracle and the point of power is here in this moment. And so I need to be present. Otherwise, I'm not in the moment. If I'm not present, my mind's wandered to the past, my mind's wandered to the future, and I'm not feeling all of the inspiration, all of the power, all of the miracle and the awe of right here. So I need to be here now to come from a spiritual place. And then there's the other part of this, which is Dale Carnegie. I love the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a masterpiece. I've read that book 2 or 3 different times, and he really talks about the most simple things that most people don't do. And things like smiling, remembering the other person's name, talking to them, really listening to them, really being present to them. In many ways, being present is as obvious as anything could be, but we all know people who don't do it. And so I want to be present with you. I'm present with you now. There's nothing else here. So it's me and you, and we're talking, and I'm in this moment. But also from a spiritual side, I'm allowing inspiration to come in, so I'm not distracted by thinking about what's next, or what should I have done earlier, or what am I going to do later, or what about last week, and so forth. Be here now.
Okay. So what's the number one course or book or a product that you can recommend to help us get focused? Because if we can focus, we can get more marketing done, or we can have better relationships.
To get focused. Well, it sounds self-serving since the book came out today, but I really think The Awakened Millionaire, it's a manifesto that really talks about being congruent with spirituality and wealth. And here's what I've noticed. Most of us have a war going on. And it's an invisible war. It's in our heads. And it's the war between wanting to have marketing or money that comes from our marketing, or money that comes from our products and services. On the one hand, we want it for noble reasons. But on the other hand, we think money's bad. Money's evil. Money will taint us. Money is scarce. Money is in any way, shape, or form negative. That's a tug of war in our own head. So we find ourselves trying to strive for our dreams. It's like, oh, I'm going to write this book, or I'm going to open this business, or I'm going to give this speech, and I'm going to earn money from doing it. And you should. But the other part of us, which is more unconscious, because it thinks money is bad, resist all of that and self-sabotages us from all of that and cripples us and trips us from actually achieving our goals. So what I'm finding is that when we have the congruency of the spiritual and the material, then we can be focused, then we can be productive, and then we can follow our passion and profit from our passion and be at peace with it. So that's what the Awakened Millionaire and the Awakened Millionaire Challenge gives a whole lot of that for free. People can just go sign up for the Awakened Millionaire Challenge. Yes.
Joe, this is really resonating just like a bag of nails with me. Boom, right?
I know.
And so, one of the things that I find myself doing a lot is, okay, I'll sit down and work on a project, I'll focus on something else. And then all of a sudden it's okay, in order to finish this, I have to go somewhere else and do something else to come back to it. And it's almost this like constant cycle of interruption.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because we're dealing with a lot of technology. So, and I'm just naturally, I'm distracted, squirrel, it's just shiny object, everything with technology.
Right.
Yes.
And I can really, I'm hearing what you're saying. And I understand that unless I'm 100% present, I can't give 100% and I can't receive 100% in that moment.
Right.
So it's a flow, right?
There definitely is a flow to life, and I want to follow the flow. Yes.
Yeah, and if you have that moment in time where you're completely focused on what you're doing, that's the only way you're going to get 100% into it and 100% out of it.
I would agree.
So in my simple brain here is just taking it and breaking it down for myself and restating the obvious. It's like, okay, unless you're putting in 100%, you can't receive 100%. And therefore there's a battle constantly of, being distracted, being, going off and doing something else and doing it 80%.
Right.
And so you're never going to receive the full bounty of your work.
And I can tell you, you've already sold 5 copies of your book right now. People are talking about it on the sidebar here. Really? I know Brett and I are buying a copy because we all need that. We know we need that. We need more focus in our life. We need more balance. And there's so many things coming in, right? We've got our family and we've got our, our home and the doorbell's ringing and the computer has all these and the phone has. So yes, I totally get.
This is all good. When I lived in Houston decades ago, one of the classes I taught was how to write your own book in a weekend. And one of the reasons people were able to write a book in a weekend is they were in a locked room with me, and there was no phone, there was no fax. I don't think the internet was around at that time, but the internet would have been turned off. There would have been no email. In other words, there would have been no distractions. And that's why they were able to write the book. So it's true for all of us. When I write, I'm usually in this office, though I've written on planes, I've written in restaurants, I can write virtually anywhere. But I'm here. My phone is off, the internet is off, nobody comes over, nobody knows where I'm at, nobody knocks on the door. I am very focused. Now, when you were talking earlier about being distracted and giving 80% and the squirrels run by and you follow them and so forth, I'm very familiar with that because I know in the early days when I was first writing some of my early books, I would get excited about the project. I would go to write, and then I'd think, oh, I better clean the house first. And then I'd go and clean the bathroom, or I'd go and do the laundry. And I realized after doing it enough that I was stalling. And one of the things I was stalling for was to see if the inclination and inspiration would go away. I was giving it a chance to leave. When I realized that it wasn't leaving and that it was for me to do and that I was actually sabotaging myself and delaying myself by procrastinating, then I woke up. There's that Awakened Millionaire thing again, where I woke up and realized that, oh, wait, if I want to get anything done, I actually have to sit here and start typing.
Sometimes the only way to get the work done is to do the work, right?
The only way to get the work done is to do the work. That's right. Yeah, it's one of the things, most people don't take action. It's one of the big mistakes even the law of attraction groupies out there are making. They just think, well, if I close my eyes and I visualize the car or the relationship will be at the front door. It might. I believe in magic and miracles. It might, but more often than not, we have to do something because we're co-creating our reality. We're co-creating. It's a dance of energy. So I may get an inspiration, but the book doesn't get written unless I sit down and start writing it. And that's true for a business, cookbook, whatever you want to do.
We have a question
Okay.
on the sidebar here. Do you order food in?
No, I'm also very fortunate because Narissa, who you know,
Hi, Narissa.
Yeah, she wrote a cookbook called Bread Free Bread. And these are all recipes on making fake bread out of seeds, nuts, and something else, but no grain at all. No, and vegetables, primarily vegetables. So she's always making something. And very often, if I know I'm going to need to eat, I will text her, hey, can you take a break in an hour? And that's her cue. I need a sandwich. But I don't order in. No, I live out in the woods. Nobody's coming here anyway.
Yeah. Hey,
I bet you Uber has a new service called Uber Eats. I bet you they would deliver something for you.
There's not even an Uber out here.
No.
Yeah, I use Uber when I travel. But here in Central Texas, where I am, there's no Uber people yet.
Yeah.
I guess I can get a part-time job being an Uber driver if I ever got bored.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So what brings you joy?
Oh,
That's a great question. Thank you. It's following whatever my passion is. And this is different for each person, but I think following your passion is the key to having the joy and having the profit and everything else that we want in life. And for me, it's been following my passion of being an author. I've written 50 some books, and obviously I can't stop writing because even when I'm done with a book, I start another one. And when I'm between books, I crop up yet one more. And then, of course, a few years ago, as you know, music showed up on my radar. And I didn't have any musical background. I didn't sing in the shower. I did play some harmonica. But I really made the jump because of my passion to learn how to play guitar, learn how to write songs, learn how to sing, learn how to record. And now I've made 15 albums in about 5 years. And so that's one of them. And then the strongman stuff, I mean, bending bolts and all that only showed up last September. And I had known about Dennis Rogers, the strongman who lives in Houston. He's a friend of mine, but I never took any of the training. When he announced the private course in Austin last September, I went. Why did I go? My passion, my internal drive, my compass said, do this. Little did I know I would get so hooked on it, do it virtually every day, bring Dennis up to my house for training, bring another guy, Iron Tamer David Whitley, another strongman, to my house for training, and end up writing a book about this. And actually, I started giving these out as gifts. When I have lunch with people or I meet a new client or I meet somebody, I'll say, hey, I bent this for you. And it ends up being a very personal, bizarre gift. Why am I doing it? My passion. That's what gives me joy. And it'll change. Whatever is next, I don't even know.
That was my question. Is it sounds as if your passions evolve.
Yes.
Just like life, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
as long as you're in alignment with your joy, your passion, your mission, and your actions, and you're present at 100%, everything falls in place.
I totally believe that. I think following your passion is the key. And for some people that are watching, it may be one thing. It may be one thing that they really are in love with. And it could be art, or it could be like Narissa, cooking, and it could be something else. It happens to be in my life that I'm almost like a cat. And I've got 9 different passive or passionate interests, 9 different lives. And so I go from being a magician, a musician, strongman, author, speaker, TV show. That's just my path, following my joy. But for somebody else, it may be one thing or 2 things. But I really do believe, like Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. It's really a matter of following your passion, following what excites you, following what you love, following what you're interested in.
Joe, we have a question. They want to know, do you ever question yourself?
Yes, I do. And this is one of my discoveries, and it's good for everybody to hear. Whenever you try something new, you will have fears and doubts show up. For example, yes, whenever you try something new, because it's out of your comfort zone. When I decided that I was going to record music, I did not jump in full-fledged. I noticed right away, who am I to do this? I'm too old. I don't have a good voice. I don't have any training. I don't know if I can write. I don't know if I can record. Doubts, fears, concerns all showed up. But I have enough skills and I have enough experience to know that I can question those, that I can delete those and erase those. And when I do, then I accelerate towards creating the thing that I want. Same thing with the strongman. When I drove to do that strongman training in Austin, Texas in September, part of me wanted to turn the car around and go back home. And part of me wanted to step on the gas and get there even faster. And part of it was I didn't know what I was in for. And I thought, well, I could get hurt doing this. I knew that these people have hurt themselves. They do so. It's an extreme sport. They're doing extreme things. But I knew, too, that I wanted to do it. So I had to face my fear, knowing that there would be fears naturally coming up. Like if I wanted to start climbing mountains next week or go up Mount Everest, I would be really afraid of that because I have no experience on any heights except, going up the ladder. So going up the side of a mountain, I'd be nervous about it. So the answer to the question is yes. When I try something new, more often than not, the mind is going to come up because it's trying to protect me. That's all it's doing. It's wanting to make sure I survive. I'm not going to be injured. And when I talk to it, reassure it, take any precautions, I can go forth.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic.
I don't want to close the show without talking about one of the books that you're in with me, which I
yes.
It's just, I love it so much. It's called The Lone Star Media Leaders. And there you are right on the cover.
Yes.
I handpicked everybody in the book. Russ and I actually did. Russ and I decided that we wanted to bring in the people that we feel are really creating media and doing what they love, following their passion. And so everybody in the book has a strong passion for creating. And
beautiful.
You were number one on my list.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm in good company there, and I'm very excited about it. Is the book on Amazon? How does everybody get the book?
It is. It's on Amazon, and it's already hit #1 bestseller, and that's probably because of you, right?
Wow, I didn't know that, but great. That's flattering and exciting.
Yeah, it was fun. It was an interesting way to write a book. We just showed up and answered questions from Tracy Haynes, and he was able to take that and turn it into, a book for us, which I thought was fascinating, right? Talk about creating a book in a weekend. You just show up to the mic.
Well, it's a great demonstration of what's possible because everybody thinks, it's going to take a long time to write a book or a long time to create a product. It doesn't have to take a long time. It can be done in shortcut methods or in hacks. And that's an example of it. Just send out an email, get some answers, get a variety of people, condense it, transcribe it. You got a book.
And there's a lot of people that are actually using that technique to discover what they need to create next.
Yes.
They ask questions to their audience. You mentioned earlier, the email list. The audience is really one of those places that you go for inspiration, right?
Well, it's absolutely right. I can tell you a quick story about that. I sent a survey to my list about 2 years ago asking them about the next book they wanted me to write. And I thought that I'd be writing a book about health, weight loss, fitness, and all of that. So that was one of the titles that was listed. But I didn't want to stack the survey in my favor and get everybody voting for that. So I threw in a couple other ideas. And one of the ideas was called The Secret Prayer. I just made that up, The Secret Prayer. I made it up and added it to the survey. When people filled out the survey, nobody cared about health or weight loss or any of that. They all voted for The Secret Prayer. And then I thought, wow, I guess I'll write The Secret Prayer. And I did. And it's on Amazon, and I'm very proud of it. But it wasn't my idea. It was the audience's idea. They're the one who voted on it and said, we want that book. So,
so you produce this for your community.
Yes. Yeah. And as it turned out, prayer is a hot topic, of course. And so there's a lot more people that are interested in it than just my list. But my list are the ones who clued me in that this was going to be a marketable topic.
Right.
I started with that.
Have you done that on other books, other projects?
I have done surveys a lot over the decades I've been doing this. And it's often very surprising because I'll think they want one thing and they'll come back and they say, no, we want something else. And it's the same thing with music. When I did a survey of my list, and I put everything from classical music to jazz to rock and roll, not knowing what they would want, they wanted rock and roll, which was fine with me because I love rock and roll. And it's one of my favorite things to record. And 5 of my singer-songwriter albums are all pure rock and roll. So, yeah, but I always go to the list because they know what they want better than I know what they want. So
we have one final question, yeah. Dr. Joe, and I'm sorry it's not about you. It is about Narissa. And somebody in the audience wants to know the name of the cookbook.
Yes, Bread Free Bread.
All right, I'm typing that in. Bread Free Bread, and they can get that on Amazon.
It's a bestseller on Amazon. It's a great book. She wrote every one of those recipes. She created them. She took all the photos in there. It's a wonderful book. It's all fake bread, so to speak, made out of vegetables, seeds, and sometimes nuts. And I tasted every one of the recipes. That was my job, was to be the taste tester. And I had
suffering through that, huh?
I had a great job. Bread Free Bread. That's the book.
Fantastic.
It has been wonderful having you on the show, and you can come back anytime. You know that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely love you, and I know everybody in the audience enjoyed it. So, final words?
Oh, go for your dreams. Dare something worthy. Have a joyous day. Just stay happy. Keep the energy up. And thank you both for doing great stuff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joe.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you.